Welcome back for Chapter 6 of AEONS End Legacy, Strength of Mind. So rumors were true, Maelstrom has awakened. Our scouts remain vigilant, watching over the sinkhole that appeared when Gravehold was destroyed, but it's only a matter of time before Maelstrom rises again. Malistar has returned to the Forge, working on new equipment for you, tools to be used in the fight against Maelstrom. He has located a strange, powerful ore on the surface that can be used to further augment his craft. This ore is guarded by a terrible nameless called Deathmind. After the initial squad returned with most of their memories wiped, our scouts kept their distance. Using the information gained from the scouts, Brahma has made a plan. Her time under control of fungal mesh has given her unique insight into the mental powers of the Nameless. Brahma will travel with you and fortify your mental pathways, acting as an anchor for your memories, to keep Deathmind at bay. As it eats memories and destroys neural pathways, Brahma will restore them. She will help you channel your powers and maintain your thoughts as you battle the Nameless. With her help, you hope to come out the other side with your thoughts intact. Open envelope label Chapter 6. Open Stop 6 deck. Combine all the Deathmind Nemesis cards with the basic cards you used last game to form the Nemesis deck. Follow the instructions on page 10 of the rulebook. Do not reveal any cards beyond Stop 6 card in the middle of the deck. Fight Deathmind and then read the front of L40 after your first game. So envelope 6. We've got our card divider, our Nemesis. So we've got some setup here. Arrange the supply in a 3x3 grid. Place the piles so that the gems start the top row. And relics and finally spells within each card type. Arrange the piles by cost, least expensive to most expensive. Read the additional rules on the other side of this mat for information about bridge tokens. Then choose 6 spaces orthogonally between supply piles and place a bridge token in each of those 6 spaces. Place them so that each token is between only 2 piles and there is at most 1 token between each of the 2 piles. Place Severlink into play with 3 power tokens. So that's going to change our setup here. All right, so 80 health. When we unleash, we'll remove 1 power token from a Severlink. Additional rules: players cannot gain the last card in a supply pile. During any player's main phase, a player may spend 5 or lose 4 pulse tokens to establish a neural bridge with Brahma and place a bridge token in between any 2 orthogonally adjacent supply piles. Bridge tokens cannot be placed between 2 supply piles which already have a bridge token. Supply piles with bridge tokens between them are connected. 2 supply piles are connected if path can be traced from one supply pile to the other via bridge tokens. When a player gains a card from the supply pile not connected to the first supply pile in the top row, that player suffers 2 damage. And we have this tokens for our bridges here, so go ahead and punch those out. All right, so I've rearranged our supplies for their gems from low to high, relics, and then spells from low to high, and place 6 bridge tokens in between. So from our Soothing Torporine, I can go over to Branching Radite, or go down to Geophage, over to Voltaic Relay, then over to Fire Chakram, or I can also go down to these 2 spells on the lower. So I do not have access up to the Ruined Luminium or the Breach Collision. So for the Nemesis deck, we've got our basics, 1, 2, and 3 cards. So we'll break in our Stop 6 fronts deck. We have the Severlink. Let me see here. Place a Severlink into play with 3 power tokens. So that comes automatically in play. When the last power token is removed from this card, resolve it immediately. So Deathmind severs a neural bridge, discard a bridge token in play. If you can't, Gravehold suffers 20 damage. Do not discard this card from play. Instead, add 3 power tokens here. So that's going to be annoying. Then we have the rest of our 1s, 2s, and threes, and we'll stop. So our level threes, we'll go ahead and randomize these a bit. And then our level twos. And level ones. And our 3 tokens there. And as for herself, 10 life. Got her breeches set up. Of course, level 3 started this way, but beginning of our first turn, we'll get to move that twice. We have 4 crystals. And all but one of our crystals can only be used to buy non-spell type items. So we've got these 4 corrupted ones in the spark. And then in her hand, 1 good crystal, 3 not so good, and our Dell's damage card. So then we'll shuffle our turn order deck and get started. This is going to be rather difficult because we are going to be limited in getting spells early, which is going to be a problem. So turn 1 will be us. We will prep a spell. Then with our 4 money, get a branching radite. And discard that one first, then our bad ones. And draw our 5 cards and move on to turn 2. Going to us. Drawing first blood. Down to 79. And gaining a charge with our damage card. Then we will prep a spark. Then we're going to bank 4 money. Getting a geophage. Discard. And draw 5. Getting some spell money and non-spell money. Next turn goes to the Nemesis. So remove a power token. Draw a card. Gravehold suffers 4 damage. Unleash until Severlink has 1 power token. So down to 26. So we'll just take 1 token off of that. Next turn, this comes off. Deathmind severs a bridge. We'll get rid of this one. So now we've just lost access to this spell card. And put 3 back on there. Then we get a memory burst. To discard a prepped spell that costs 5 or more. After 3 turns, any player suffers damage equal to the number of bridge tokens in play, then unleash twice. That's a problem. We only have 1 spell that costs 5 or more, and that costs 7. So our turn. 1 damage to the big guy. All right, so we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total money. We're going to use 3 to get a breach flare. Then the other corrupted 3 to get us a gem. And end our turn drawing 5. This is what we've got. And we go again. Prep a spell. Gain a money, destroy a gem in hand. We'll blow up one of these. So we have a total of 3. There we go. Draw 1 and then 4 more. So we've got some damage cards and buying cards. And we will get ready for round 2. All right, starting with us. 1 damage. There's 77 more to go. Gaining a charge. We will prep 1 spell. We will use these 3 to go ahead and open this breach. Prepping the spark. And then now we have 2 more prep spells, so this will get us 3 money. We'll use that for this gem. End our turn. Getting a handful of money here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nemesis takes a turn. So you lose a power off this one and off that one. New card. Brings out the Ravenous Leviathan with 7 health. And he will be making Gravehold suffer 2 damage. And getting close to evolving. Next turn, us. Go ahead and deal 2 and 3 damage, taking him down to 4. We have a total of 6 money here. We're going to use that to form a connection to get down to the breach collision, just in case. And then discard our 2 decent spells with the 3 bad ones. 3 cards and 2. And this is what we've got to work with next round. Our turn. I'm going to use this to get rid of a bad gem. We are going to end up with 4 money, 3 of which we can use on spells. But we will spend all 4 for a good gem. Getting 2 spells and some money. Next turn will be us. We can deal 2 damage to a minion. Gain our 3rd charge. Prep 2 spells. All right, so you have a total of 5 money, 4 for anything. We're going to use 2 to break out some fire. And then with the remaining 3, go for a gem. Ending our turn. Getting some good gems and not so good. Next turn goes to the Nemesis. So lose a power, lose a power. Hit Gravehold for 2. And grab a sticker. And prep for our next round. All right, first turn goes to us. So we can deal 2 damage to get rid of our minion up here. 1 damage over here. We have 6 money. We're going to spend these 3 for a spell. And our last 3 for another gem. Ending our turn. Getting these cards. Then it'll be our turn. Prep a spell. Geophage to get rid of this. Got a total of 5 that we can use for anything. So go ahead and get a breach flare and some fire. End our turn. Getting some money and some fire. Next turn is us again. Dealing 1 damage. Down to 75. And gaining a charge. Then prep. So we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 money we can use on anything. Then another. So we'll use 3 here. Then we have another 4 left. We'll use up here. Getting 3 spells and 2 gems. Then bad things happen. So first, we sever a bridge. So we will get rid of this. Put 3 tokens back on here. Then we trigger this one. So any player suffers damage equal to the number of bridge tokens in play, then unleash twice. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're down to 5 health. Then unleash twice. We'll get rid of 2 power tokens. Then draw a card, getting a kinetic construct. 7 health. Immediately read evolve deck card E60. All right, the kinetic construct attacks Brahma. So it appears a glowing configuration of prisms and shapes, crackling with a cascade of energy. Arcs of electricity spout from the beast, shocking Brahma and pinning her to the ground. Defeat kinetic construct to rescue Brahma. Place this card next to the construct. When it's discarded, read the back of this card. And its persistent effect is Gravehold suffers 2 damage. Place a bridge token into play, then discard a different bridge token. 7 health. All right, next will be us. We'll deal 2 damage up here, taking it down to 5. We are going to gain 2 to focus a breach so that we can prep a spell there. Then we're going to silence a minion. End our turn. Drawing 4 plus 1 more here. Getting 1 spell and 4 money to buy with. Then Nemesis goes. So we lose a token. So we got to discard a bridge. Put 3 back up here. Take off the silence. And our new card is a Caustic Larva with 10 health, and he likes to unleash. And time to shuffle. And next turn, we'll start with us going. So we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 damage. So taking him out. And then read the back of this card. So we rescued Brahma. As the lifeless construct crumbles, Brahma is free to redirect the stores of energy she was using to defend herself. The player who discarded kinetic construct gains a card that gains pulse tokens from any supply pile. The player does not suffer damage from Deathmind for gaining this card. Well, we'll go for the Breach Communion. Then prep a spell. Then with our 4 money, we'll get a Geophage and discard down. And draw into some damage, and this is what we have in the other side. Next turn goes to the Nemesis. So take off a token. This is going to unleash and evolve. And new card, unleash twice. Then we will suffer 3 damage. So first unleash. Bad things are going to happen. So we'll move this. Put 3 on, unleash again. Then we go down to 2 health. Next turn. 2 damage to this guy. Prep 2 spells. We're going to silence a minion. And that leaves us with 3 money. We'll put in a charge. And draw in to a bunch of gems and a breach flare. Next turn is the Nemesis. Lose a gem, lose a silence. Then a Tremor. To discard, we need to spend 7. We've got 2 turns, then it's going to unleash twice. Gravehold suffers 4 damage. Then if Gravehold has 13 or more life, it will evolve. Then for us, we can deal 2 damage to a minion and gain a charge. Then 2 more damage, so down to 4. And we're going to spend all our charges. Gravehold gains 5 life, so up to 29. And if we have 4 less life, we gain 2, so we're up to 4 health. Put out our breach flare. We end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 money, so we'll go ahead and discard this. So Tremor will not be happening. And end our turn, 4 cards, +1. So we've got a flare, some fire, and 3 soothing gems. And then it's our turn. 2 damage to this guy. Play with some fire. So 6 money. We're going to silence him just in case. And see if we can live. We'll add 2 more charges. So getting 3 spells and 2 little gems. And time to shuffle. And first turn will come to us. So we can deal 2 damage up here. And 2 to the big guy, down to 73. Then we're just going to end up using these 2 money so we can focus a breach mage, or our breach, so we can get our 3 spells prepped. And then while prepped, once per turn during your main phase, you may gain 1 pulse token. So we have a pulse. All right, 1 spell, a relic, and some gems. Our turn. We're going to deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage, down to 68. Get rid of one of our bad gems. Prep. And with 3, we will go ahead and open this breach. So a couple of spells and some decent gems. Then our turn again. 2 damage, down to 66. Prepping. And we have enough money to get this, but I don't want to take the 2 damage. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 money. We'll put in a link there. And then with this 3 money, we'll put in a charge. 3 cards. And 2 for our next round. 1 spell and some gems. Nemesis gets a turn. All right, we'll sever this thing we just put in. 3 more tokens. All right, Brahma's Torment. Discard 2 bridge tokens in play. You ease Brahma's burden. Read Evolved Deck card E61. Or any player suffers 5 damage. The players collectively discard cards in hand equal. All right, well, that sucks bad. But it's going to come in, and we're just going to go ahead and do it because we don't want to take damage later, so wait. So that will go away. Nemesis turn. Remove a token, draw another card. All right, Thoughtquake. There are 3 or more bridge tokens in play. Discard a bridge token. We only have 1. Otherwise, Gravehold suffers 6 damage. Oh, it's otherwise. All right, down to 23. Then for our turn, we are going to deal 1, 2, 3 damage to the Death Mind. And gain a charge. Prep a spell. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we'll use this 5 to go ahead and put in a link. And then for this 2, we'll put out another charge. All right. So shuffling for our next round. And we start with us. 2 damage. 61. Prepping some spells. We've got 5 money. Put in another link. All right, some spells and not so good money. Our turn. 4 damage. So 57. Prep these once during our main phase. Gain a pulse token. Then with 2 money, we're going to gain another charge and go ahead and spin that to have Gravehold gain 5 life, so up to 28. And if we're 4 or less, which we are, we will gain 2 life up to 6. All right, plenty of money in 1 spell. Our turn. Going to deal 2 damage. We'll lose 2 tokens, so we can deal 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. Down to 49. So 1 spell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 money. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ending up with 2 spells in her hand. Then it would be the Nemesis. So we get a Cortex Jailer. It's going to have 1 shield. This minion gains 1 shield token for each bridge token to play. That's awesome. Persistent, the player with the lowest life suffers 2 damage. For health, 1, 2, 3, 4 shields. Next turn, Nemesis goes again. So that's going to breach here. Put 3 on. Player with the lowest life suffers 2 damage. That's us. New card comes out. Discard 2 bridge tokens in play. Gravehold suffers 8 damage. We'll think about that. And then go again for our turn. Dealing 2 damage or removing a shield. Prepping some spells. We will silence a minion here. And then with 4 money, we can reach our breach. We actually had 5, but we just needed the 4. Getting 1 spell and then 4 gems. And next round. Our turn. Remove a shield. Gain a token. Remove a shield. Put out a spell. We have a total of 7 money, so we'll use 5 over here and 2 for a charge. All right, getting 2 spells. Both are geophages. Next turn is us. So we can get rid of the last shield token. Prep a couple more spells. We'll use this to get rid of our dirty crystal. And then with 2 money, make another charge. All right, 3 spells and some money. It's us. So 2, 4 damage. Get rid of him. Prepping 3 spells. We have a total of 6, so we'll go ahead and put in another link. Drawing 2. Actually, before that, we'll go ahead and take out 2 to discard this. So 2 cards and 3. And while I'm at it, get a pulse token. All right. So now our hand, 2 spells and 3 gems. Nemesis goes. There are 4 or more bridge tokens in play. There isn't. Unleash 4 times, otherwise any player suffers 5 damage. Brain wipe. Well, that's bad. So we lose 5 damage. So we are exhausted, if you will. Need to destroy one of our breaches. So we'll get rid of this. Well, before that happens, we unleash twice. So this happens. Get rid of one of these tokens, then 3 come back on. Then we get rid of the gate. We lose our charge tokens, so no more healing. All right. Nemesis is going to go again. So unleash twice. All right, so we're going to lose another token. Put these back on. And the player with the most expensive card in hand discards 2 cards in hand. Then for each card in that player's hand that costs 2 or more, evolve. Well, we're just going to get rid of these. Then we evolve 3 times, but it doesn't matter because it can't take any more stickers. So we're going to card E12. The Annihilate Story. Your resistance to the Nameless's mental attacks have drawn their attention to you. If you had simply succumbed, they would have moved on. Now they fear your power and have marked you as a prime target for eradication. So we're going to banish this card. We're going to place card E13 into the Nemesis discard pile. The player who just discarded cards because of this writes their name on that. And then we don't read anymore. All right, so the new card that's getting discarded. Unleash twice, and then Dale discards their 3 most expensive cards in hand. All right, and next turn goes to us. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 damage, down to 44. Prep some spells. Gain a pulse token. And with 2 money, we'll just bank that and do nothing with it. All right, so we've got some spells and gems, and shuffling for our next turn. And starting with the Nemesis. Lose a power. Facet Ogre, so 1 health, 4 shields. On its turn, Gravehold suffers damage equal to the number of shield tokens the minion has. If this minion has 2 or less shields, it will evolve. So 1 little health, 4 little tokens. And then Nemesis goes. So 4 damage on Gravehold, down to 24. Then Ray of Desolation gets prepped. So next turn, unleash twice. The players collectively destroy 2 most expensive prepped spells. Then it's our turn. So we will use this with the 2 tokens to do 5 damage over here, down to 39. Then we'll take out a shield token. Prep 2 spells. I want to silence a minion. And then with the other 2, we're going to have 5 money. Put out a link. So getting 1 spell and some gems. And then we're ending this round up. So we're going to deal a damage to take out a shield. Take out a shield. Prep a spell. Get rid of our corrupted gem. And then with 5 money, put out a link. Then for our next turn, take out a shield. Prep 2 spells. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Shame we're going to get this out and lose it very shortly, I bet. So this is what we have for our next turn. So we can take out the Facet Ogre. Do 2 damage to the Death Mind. Prep 3 spells. Gain a little pulse token. Then with 2 buying power, get some fire. And then see what happens on our next turn. So shuffling for the next round. All right, first turn will be us. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage, down to 32. Prep 2 spells, get my token. All right, so now we have 7 money, and it doesn't hurt us to get this. So that will allow us to do 5 damage and gain a life for Gravehold. Next round, we're looking at a couple spells. discard these two. So we can do 5, 6, 7 damage, down to 25. Prepping 2 spells. And we only have 6 money this time. So we'll go ahead and put in another link. And our next round is Spell Light. So we can deal 3 damage to the beastie, down to 22. Prepping. 6 money once again. Three spells and 2 tiny crystals. Our turn for 2 more damage. Down to 20. We'll play with some fire. All right, some spells, 4 of them there. Unfortunately, Nemesis is going to go. So we're going to lose a token. Get 3. Then unleash twice. And destroy the 2 most expensive prep spells. Well, a 3 and a 2, so it could have been worse. Goodness, a nightmare. Discard a bridge token adjacent to the first pile in the top row of the supply, or any player suffers 4 damage and 17 health. And then he'll go again. So destroy a link. Destroy a bridge token adjacent to the first pile. That's going to be up here. New card, 7 health, 4 shields, unleashing twice. And shuffling. So now I've got decisions to make. Do I just go straight after the beast or deal with one of those minions? Next turn is us. I think I'm just going after the big baddie. And gain a token. And we only have 1 card in each of those spots, so we can't buy those. So banking 3 money and just not doing anything with it. So we're left with a spark in hand, so 4 cards. Got some spells and soothing gems. Next turn is the Nemesis. Well, we don't have a token next to the first one, so any player suffers 4, which equals 8. So down to 16. Then we're going to unleash twice, which means we lose another token over here. Then evolve or Gravehold suffers 3 damage, and any player suffers 3 damage, which is going to equal 9. So I guess we're going to evolve and see what happens when we suffocate. So card E28. All right, the Nameless has sent its minions on a mission to raise new Gravehold. You had a difficult choice. Stop the minions or save new Gravehold, or prevent the Nameless from recovering and gaining even more power. Banish Suffocate, place card E29 in a Nemesis discard pile. All right, so this turned into an Unleash 4 times, or Gravehold suffers 4 damage and any player suffers 4. All right, next turn is us. So we're dealing 5 damage. Down to 13, Gravehold will heal 1. And then, let's see. We'll go ahead and do 4 more damage. Down to 9. Prep these spells. Use this to get a token. Then we're going to yell silence twice. So I'm sure you can tell setup is a little bit different. Basically, I completed this playthrough 2 days ago during the editing process. Realized the last video file in this entire playthrough was corrupt. Even after spending $50 on a program to try to repair it, I was unsuccessful. Fortunately, the game was far enough along, I can kind of just show you what happened. We had 3 turns already in play, 9 health on the Death Mind, these spells in play with 2 tokens, and these cards in hand. We had the Sever Link with 3 tokens and 2 monsters out with silence on them. So basically, next turn went to us. With the Breach Communion and 2 tokens, we could do 5 damage, 6, 7, and 8. Taking the Nemesis down to 1. And then in our hand, we had 2 spells for prepping. And money we would have spent on nothing, or probably to put out a token. And then the next turn came back to us. We have a total of 3 damage to deal out. We only need 1 to defeat the Death Mind. And then for the conclusion, we'll read the back of this card. So together, you and your fellow Breach Mages have gained the upper hand against Death Mind. You can see Brahma in your mind's eye, glowing with a soft yellow light, filling you with hope. As you advance on the creature, you feel the cloud leave your memories. Death Mind shrieks, panicked as your force overwhelms it, destroying its mind from the inside, leaving nothing but an empty shell. As Brahma closes the breach, you watch for interference from Zaxos. When the breach is closed, you collect the ore needed for Malistar's new equipment. So it takes time to transport the ore back to New Gravehold, and even more for Malistar to imbue his equipment with the ore's raw power. While Malistar works, the threat of Maelstrom's return becomes imminent. It has pushed its way out of the rubble and now moves towards your camp, ready to crush your new settlement just as it did Gravehold. Hopefully the abilities and powers you've gained during your time on the surface have prepared you for this final conflict. You know you have done everything you could to prepare for this last battle, but you're full of doubt. You can only hope you are ready. So we will reveal the rest of Stop 6 deck and change our 2 of our supply cards. Banish the Nemesis cards for Death Mind, and then when we're ready, we'll get L43 for Chapter 7. So the additional supply cards, we have a gem, cost of 6, full might slab, gain of money, gain 2 pulse tokens. Till the end of the turn, you may lose 1 pulse token to gain 1 any number of times. We've got a Prophetic Lens, gain a charge, reveal the top card of your deck. You may destroy it. If you don't, gain a money. Sparking Siphon, a spell here for 3. When you gain this, gain 2 pulse tokens. Cast, deal 2 damage. You may lose 1 pulse token. If you do, any player gains a life. And lastly, Thunderous Oath. Cast to deal 6 damage. Gain a pulse token. You may lose any number of pulse tokens. If you do, any ally draws cards equal to the number of pulse tokens lost this way. So I'll be bringing in the Sparking Siphon, taking out the Breach Flare, and bringing in Prophetic Lens, and discarding the Voltaic Relay. And that will conclude Chapter 6, Strength of Mind for AEONS End Legacy. So stay tuned next time for Chapter 7, The Last Stand. Hope you enjoyed this playthrough, so please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.